Hey, Sam here, making this video to let you know that Venus has just entered Taurus, the sign of Taurus, the sign of the bull, here on March 28th. Now, this isn't just any old transit. Venus is going to be in Taurus for 4 months, March 28th until like August 1st, very early August, or I'm sorry, very late July. So what this means, Venus is the ruler of Taurus. Let me get this exact. Yeah, actually July 31st. So that's in the Pacific time. But Venus is the ruler of Taurus. Taurus is the feminine, the female, reflective nature of Venus. That's how it works. The signs aren't just existing out in space. They are expressions of the planet that rules them. They should always be understood together that way. Really. Everything is ruled by the planets. The planets are the grahas. They're the forces. They're the divine beings that create everything. And they share their feeling and their sort of psychological nature through the signs they rule. Masculine and feminine sign. Except for the sun and moon, which are only masculine or feminine. The sun has no feminine qualities, the moon has no masculine qualities. The sun is the archetype of masculine, the moon is the archetype of feminine. And then they share those archetypes through the other planets. So the feminine nature of Venus is understood and felt through the sign of Taurus. So Venus and Taurus for the next 4 months is a great opportunity and a great scenario for us to all connect with the inner nature of Venus. Now, of course, masculine and feminine are also archetypal principles. The masculine is the nature to express and assert, to comprehend, and to grow beyond what we've already received and made strong and solid. Feminine energy is to gather, sensitize, connect, and then stabilize our energy. The stabilizing factor comes from the earth element. That's what Venus is about. Stable connections, stable sense of beauty, harmony, love, stabilizing the things we have. And it really, the key word for Taurus and the key word for Venus is contentment. Contentment. Think of a cow. I was just blessed recently when I went to India to care for the cows. Turn that glare off a little bit. And one thing about cows is, they're big. They're big, sort of clunky animals in some way. And when they're not fed or when they don't have their needs met, their desires met, they're unruly. But once they do, if you want to really learn how to relax, sit and watch a bunch of cows. Just, like after they're fed and they're chewing their food and then they've had enough food and then they just sit down and they're just completely still. They don't move. It's like, I used to, after I would feed the cows, I would go and, after they were fed, one of the best parts about that seva was to sit in the middle of them. These like 7 or 8 big cows, and just sit there, and they either look at you or they don't, but they're just so peaceful and content. They're like, okay, I'm here, I'm present, I'm content. See, so often with Venus energy, we're longing, we're searching for something external or something internal to make us feel happy. Venus is happiness, wanting to be happy, and we all want to be happy. We all want what Venus has. We spend our whole life really chasing Venus. That's why Venus is also actually very much like a Marek, a planet, like a killer planet. This is a subtle quality, but it's very true. What really kills us is food and sex, actually. And I don't mean that to be cynical, but we eat food that doesn't really replenish our body, and we, even if it's not literally sexual activity, but we are always longing and putting so much attention in that desire for pleasure and happiness. Sex is like a composite for the energy we put forth to satisfy our desires. Something external, not something internal. You want to see the inner psychological nature of Venus, you experience it through Taurus. Contentment. Once we're content, we're peaceful. This is why the moon is exalted in Taurus, because Taurus is the most content with what they have. Once they have what they want, they can really enjoy it. I say they. We all have Taurus somewhere. The people who have a lot of planets there, the difficulty is getting then attached to it. Saying, okay, I have my family, I have what I want, I have this pleasure, now I gotta hang on to it. I want to hang on to it as if it's the key to my happiness. It's not. The feeling that it gives can lead us inward toward the true source of stability, what's really stable in us. So we're not just cows, but we can learn a lot of lessons from the cow and really relax into the deeper nature of Taurus. For the next 4 months, Venus in Taurus is giving us an enormous opportunity, gifting us with the true wisdom of that life lesson that comes from Venus internally, the internal quality to gather, to hold, to enjoy, to possess with discrimination, knowing that we're going to lose it all one day. It's okay. Knowing that we're going to lose it all one day is just the nature of life. It shouldn't stop us from enjoying what we have in the moment and enjoying the moment. And until we make peace with that, we can't really enjoy the moment. Then Taurus becomes something that's also very clingy. So look at the things in your life that give you value. This is the thing. Values and those deeply entrenched habits and routines are your real strength. And those things that you've learned and that you've loved and that have given you solid structure in your life, that's where the real value comes from. And then taking care of those things and people, of course, that they represent or that embody those principles and those commitments that you've made will be a great source of happiness, pleasure, and contentment and peace. At least that's the potential. It's a really auspicious time for these things. I mean, rarely do we get it like this. Starting March 28th, 29th, 28th, whatever day it is today, until like July 31st. March, April, May, June, July. 4 months. It's awesome. Let's see. April, May, June, July. Yeah, sorry. So, leave me some comments. What gives you the most, the greatest feeling of value, wealth, and connection in your life? Leave me some comments. Let me know.